This inmate has a special fetish. Whenever he was relaxing, he would approach the guards on purpose. Then he peeks at the keys on his belt. When he returns to his cell, he draws the outline of the key in detail. If there's even the slightest deviation, he patiently does it again. He demanded perfection. Not only that, but every morning at 3 a.m. he would quietly light a match. He looked carefully at the hole in the cell door. Then he tore off a piece of white paper and carefully placed it on top. Soon he had an outline. Then he traces the shape with a pencil. When he's finished, he prepares a roll of paper. He slowly inserted it into the hole. Then he pressed the bottom with a pencil. After 30,000 rubs, Jack managed to get the depth of the hole, but even so he wasn't happy. He had a problem with the materials to make the key. The next day, while working in the carpentry shop, he came up with an idea. He snuck a couple of strong wooden strips when the guards weren't looking. He planned to hide them in a thermos and take them out, but he didn't expect it at all. When he was being examined, he had an accident. Jack was too nervous to control his facial expression, and the guard noticed him. He picked up Jack's thermos and poured out the tea without hesitation. Then he shook it a few thousand times, but strangely enough, the guard found nothing unusual in his inspection. He had no choice but to let Jack go. He didn't know that this small oversight would add a big stain to the prison. Jack returned to his cell and eagerly emptied the thermos of wood. He was able to avoid the guard's search because he had already thought of a way to deal with it. When the guards came here, Jim deliberately knocked over the box containing nails to buy enough time for Jack, and Jack hid in the back and stuffed a big towel into it. This is the only way to avoid a disaster. Once everything was ready, Jack started to make the key. He stares intently at the block in his hand. He's trying to make sure he doesn't miss a single detail. He even sandpapered the burrs in the center. Soon the parts of the key are complete. Then he applies glue and carefully assembles the parts. Jack removes the overhead heat lamp to speed up the glue setting. 3 minutes later, Jack took out the wooden key. He made sure the parts were securely glued together. He took out the drawings and compared them again. He then proceeded to do the final touches. After much refinement and polishing, he finally made a wooden key. Jack then approached the door with trepidation. Then he carefully inserted the key into the lock hole. Not daring to breathe, he turned the key with great anticipation. With a clear sound, the door was opened. Jack was very happy, but his happiness didn't last long. Suddenly he found a bigger problem. Jack was like a deflated ball. He could no longer feel the excitement he had just felt. The thick steel door left him in despair. Can Jack break out of prison?